Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, well, basically the Metal Cooler and the other bosses of the Ultimate Clash. So just a heads up, I do Metal Cooler first and then I tackle on the other bosses afterwards and we do a nice neat summary of them. Metal Cooler greatly raises attack and defense for one turn. Whilst causing damage to you, he recovers his HP, 4% of it, and he can evade your attacks up to 15% evasion. Aside from that though, that's pretty much it. You can stun him, you can seal him, you can do a lot to him. The thing is he can throw multiple super attacks in a turn, so you have to be a little bit careful, because what can happen is he can basically hit you with a super attack and then hit you immediately with a follow-up one, and you can take a lot of damage. He actually has the ability to fire almost two in succession, which is a problem for a lot of units. Obviously AGL is pretty strong, and we have some very specific units that we can bring to counter him, being AGL Bardock. However, the number one thing you want to bring is stuns and sealing. Now I have two sealers, the LR Super Saiyan Goku and the Super Vegeta AGL, both of whom are going to keep us under wraps. Once you get that first seal off, you generally tend to be okay, so it's not anything too major. I wouldn't panic too much, but getting that first seal is probably the most important part of this. Then after that, everything else becomes substantially easier. So yeah, but that's pretty much it really in regards to this Ultimate Clash. Honestly speaking, it was pretty straightforward. Aside from this, definitely the Boos I find in stage 3 tend to be the hardest units to take on, at least from my side overall. So I would probably say that is something to consider. But aside from that, I think, basically Cooler is not too bad as long as you can get the seal off. If you don't get the seal off, then he hits very hard and it's very painful. But aside from that, yeah, sealing and everything tends to work pretty well. So yeah, otherwise pretty good stuff. Obviously now we'll look through each of the bosses and talk about the teams for them and a little bit about the strategy for them. So if you're interested in a specific boss, just basically skip like 10 seconds. I think I spend around 30 seconds on each boss, so just hit that skip button if you're interested specifically in someone else. But we'll start off with Mr. Yajirobe. Mr. Yajirobe is the easiest boss. He's strength type this time around. We use Team Bardock as we do every single time. It doesn't matter if you somehow fail, which can happen. You can just soft reset and start again because it's the first boss. So that's what makes it truly the easiest. He raises his defense, he's immune to being stunned, and he's got a high level of evasion, but he's also quite squishy. So your team in general should be fine, obviously permitted. Next we have General Rilldo, who's also immune to stunning and lowers your attack, but as well is not anything too crazy. Again, we're using a specifically strength team here to deal with the physical Rilldo. Next we have Nail, who raises attack and defense one turns, immune to being stunned, attack and defense reduction, and also has the ability to raise his attack and defense for one turn. Here we're using a tech team and a super tech team, but nothing too crazy. You can bring a sealer, but again, at this point the bosses aren't too crazy, so you should be fine. Next we take on Pan, and here we're going to use an int team. She's the same, being immune to stunning, attack lowering, defense lowering, but she doesn't raise her attack and defense. However, she can fire off multiple super attacks in a turn. So that's really about it, to be honest with you. After Pan, you will then take on Cabba. Cabba is slightly different in raising his attack for one turn by 30%. He also has the ability to be immune to stunning and attack and defense lowering, but again, he isn't anything too complex. So we should be more than fine to handle him. This is where things really rank up in stage 3. Gohan has the ability to fire off two attacks. One has a countdown, one does not. The one without a countdown will have a medium chance of stunning you whilst raising his defense, and the one that has a countdown has a chance of raising his attack and high chance of stunning you. You definitely want to seal him, as he'll boost his attack and defense, cause a lot of damage to you, stun you, and just isn't nice to be around with. Try to bring more than one seal as well, because Gohan has evasion and 10% at that, So if he evades and dodges your seal, then you could have a bit of a problem. Next, we are going to take on the good old Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. is a very simple unit actually. He seals one of your units randomly per turn, and he also has the ability to seal off of his super attack, and he also greatly raises his attack for 1 turn on his super. So it's a very, 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 very hectic boss to take on from that perspective. Next we have Evil Buu, also a very tough boss, recovers 4% of his health, 10% evasion, and can also seal you with his super attack. He also hits pretty hard, so it is quite tough, so don't panic. Your best option here is obviously to stun him. Same with him, same with Buu, and same with Garlic Jr., and ultimately the same with Metal Cooler. You really want to stun them. So even with good Buu, he recovers his health as well, he can evade you as well. The only difference with him is he raises his attack instead of obviously him stunning or sealing, but he also lowers your attack and defense, which is not too great. So wherever you can, bringing sealing, bringing stunning, bringing these kind of mitigating factors are going to be very crucial. But attack lowering is also something that is very helpful with stage 3 in general. But that is it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like as always, and I will see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care.